And they're just about ready for the Vodafone Derby. They're ready, and they're racing. Away to a fairly good start too. On the outside, the Great Gatsby is one of the first away with Dutch Gold. They're very vying for the early lead. Alberto Giacometti is up there in the early stages from Ballastrini and Magistretti. Further back on the inside then is Refused to Bend from Lundy's Lane. Right in centre field is Kris Kin. Shield got a slight check there and dropped back very sharply. On the inside of runners there is Let Me Try Again, has got right up on the inside of Brian Baru as they now start to angle over towards the inside. Unigold is behind them, followed further back in the field by Franklin's Gardens. They're followed by Prince Nureyev and Summerland as well, back with Grykos and Strength and Honour. Right out the back at this stage is Norse Dancer as they sort themselves out and race up towards the mile in the Derby. They're going like the wind in front. It's the Great Gatsby and Dutch Gold together. They're about 2 lengths to Alberto Giacometti and Brian Baru. Ballastrini is starting to move up as well. 2 lengths to Refuse to Bend, who's just behind them. They're followed next in the field by Kris Kin and Franklin's Gardens as well. Lucky Lundy's Lane is there as well. A couple of lengths to Grykos, followed by Strength and Honour and Unigold as they continue their climb from Shield. Magistretti's back in the field as well, but on the inside it's the Great Gatsby from Dutch Gold. Alberto Giacometti in behind them. They're followed a little bit wider out by Ballastrini. In behind them is Brian Baru from Lundy's Lane and then they Refuse to Bend. Further back in the field then Franklin's Gardens, who's trapped out a bit wide with a noseband. In behind them Kris Kin as they charge down to Tattenham Corner. Further back in the field then is Shield, who's in the centre of runners as they come now towards Tattenham Corner. They've got 3.5 furlongs left to run in the Derby, and on the far side the Great Gatsby and Dutch Gold fighting it out from Ballastrini. Behind them Alberto Giacometti is coming under pressure now as they straighten up for home. Then on the outside are Lamb Shah's coming from a mile back. Then Kris Kin the inside from Refuse to Bend, and they've kicked away now as they race up now with just under 2 furlongs left to travel. The Great Gatsby goes for home for Pat Henry, the oldest rider in the race. Ballastrini out after him from Dutch Gold. Here's Kris Kin. Norse Dancer down the outside with a Lamb Shah. The Great Gatsby falling in a hole with a half furlong to go. Kris Kin coming at him strongly. A Lamb Shah right down the outside with Norse Dancer. Kris Kin gets the lead, and Kris Kin has won the Derby. Kris Kin has won the Derby for Kieran Fallon. The far side, Great Gatsby second, and Lamb Shah is third. Behind them is Ballastrini from Norse Dancer. They're followed by Dutch Gold. A long last is Prince Nureyev. But the Derby has been won by number 9, Kris Kin, ridden by Kieran Fallon, has given this a famous ride. It's a photo second. But the winner is number 9, Kris Kin, owned by Saeed Sahel, trained by Sir Michael Stout, his third winner in the race, and ridden by Kieran Fallon, his second. Kris Kin has won the Derby. A photo second, the Great Gatsby, Pat Henry the far side, might have just got it, but it's tight. Near side of Lamb Shah, Johnny Murtagh in third, maybe. Norse Dancer is next, then Ballastrini, then Dutch Gold. A gap to Let Me Try Again. Then Grykos and Magistretti, Shield, Summerland, Alberto Giacometti, then Refuse to Bend, well back in the field. Franklin's Gardens behind them. Well back is Brian Baru. And a Unigold, one of the last, with Lundy's Lane there as they cross the line. Prince Nureyev is last. The winner, though, is number 9, Kris Kin. Kris Kin is the winner, ridden by Kieran Fallon. What a rider he is. Second, officially now, number 19, the Great Gatsby, owned by Mrs. John Magda, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by Pat Henry. And third, number 1, a Lamb Shah, owned by His Highness the Aga Khan, trained by John Oxon, ridden by Johnny Murtagh. Fourth is number 13, Norse Dancer, owned by Jeff Smith, trained by David Ellsworth, ridden by Richard Quinn. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the winner has scored by a length.
Well, the only clue to this was in the market. This was the gamble of the day. Kris Kin, people had obviously been hearing good news about his work in Newmarket. As Willie was saying, he was inexperienced coming into the race. He'd only had 3 runs in his life, one of them this year, and look at the run that he got on the rail, on the far rail, making ground all the time. Kieran Fallon moving into 4th place now, and he picks up these leaders. The Great Gatsby, I thought, as he's a staying type of horse, might just hang on in front. Lamb Shah's finished well as well. But my word, Kieran Fallon is some jockey, isn't he?
Oh, he's a good jockey, but he's sitting on a very good horse. Obviously, this horse could improve even again because he must be inexperienced, and to do what he's done today is fantastic on his third of his life. Now, you can see him there. He's just hitting the front, and he's, you know, obviously, when he won at Chester, he lost his jockey after the line. Obviously, there was still a lot more in the tank that day.
Alam Shah's run on well, just got nosed out of second
Pat
place
Henry
by the
on
Great
second.
Gatsby. A Norse dancer, what a run from him. He was third in the Guineas at 100 to 1. He was a big price again today. He's finished fourth for Jeff Smith and David Ellsworth, and he was supplemented this week, and so too was the winner. Well, they've got their money back. It was a gamble worth taking.
6 to 1 Kris Kin, 20 to 1 the Great Gatsby, and 4 to 1 Alam Shah. Alam Shah coming from a long way back. But Kris Kin in the colours of Saeed Suhail, who's been a real fan of the Derby. He's a man who's always sought the best possible bloodstock, and he's actually had a third in the race before with Beat All in 1999. He had Dilshan in 2001, that finished 7th. But Kris Kin has given him victory in the world's most famous flat race. And this jockey, what a remarkable man he is. He is probably one of the strongest riders ever seen in the game. He does it through sheer strength and finesse, and some real cheers from the crowd, an enthusiastic crowd. Sir Michael Stout, the trainer, it's his third win. He won with the great Shergar in 1981 and also with Shahrastani in 86. And Kieran Fallon, his second. He won it with won it with Oath in 99. It's the first time Kieran Fallon's actually ridden this horse in a race. Johnny Murtagh was actually aboard last year. Fergal Lynch had the ride. There's Michael Stout there coming back. Fergal Lynch had the ride when successful at Doncaster and also at Chester. But as Michael Stout's #1 jockey, there was no doubt that Kieran was going to get the ride. Pat Henry has finished second in the race for the 6th time. It was his 31st ride in the Derby. He's ridden in the race every year since 72, except for 1995. And at age 51, what a ride he gave the Great Gatsby. It was almost a story to fit alongside those of Sir Gordon Richards and Scobie Breasley, who, of course, Scobie here as a guest today. There's Fallon. Look at that smile. When you consider the difficulties he's overcome, he had a fall only 2 seasons ago at Ascot. It was a shoulder injury that threatened to end his career. It was only some quick thinking by some attentive people, some medical experts who did operate quickly, and he has come back from that. It has been a remarkable sporting achievement to come back and to be in this winner's enclosure with the injuries he's endured. And also, of course, he's